Don't forget to subscribe and comment. I never thought I'd let it happen. Not to me. Not in my own home, while my husband slept just a floor above us. My name is Rachel Morgan. I've been married to Ethan for 9 years. We were once full of spark, laughter, spontaneous kisses in the hallway, late-night drives with the windows down. But slowly, life dulled us. Ethan became consumed with work, late nights, conference calls, deadlines. I tried to hold us together. I really did. I made candlelit dinners he never came home for. Bought new lingerie he never noticed. Planned trips he always postponed. After a while, I stopped trying. We shared a bed, a house, a name, but nothing else. Then Jake moved in. He was Ethan's childhood best friend, back in town after a breakup and job loss. Ethan, being the nice guy he always was, offered him our guest room while he got back on his feet. Jake had always been attractive, but now he was magnetic. He was tall, lean, with dark eyes that studied you like he already knew your secrets. He arrived with nothing but a duffel bag and a smile that unsettled me. The first few days were polite. He kept to himself, helped with the dishes, joked around with Ethan. But at night, when Ethan went to bed early, too tired from work to even kiss me goodnight, I stayed downstairs, pretending to scroll my phone while Jake sat across from me in the living room. He noticed things. Things Ethan hadn't in years. "You bite your lip when you're trying not to say something," he said once, casually, as I looked away from the TV. I glanced at him, surprised. "Do I?" He smiled. "You do it a lot around Ethan." I didn't know how to respond. Instead, I laughed it off, but the tension hung in the air like humidity. He saw right through me. And the worst part? I liked it. A week after Jake moved in, Ethan came home with a headache and went to bed before 9. I stayed behind in the kitchen, rinsing dishes, when Jake walked in. He leaned against the counter, watching me. "You seem sad tonight," he said. "I'm just tired." "No, you're lonely." My eyes met his, and something inside me shifted. I hated how right he was. I hated how close he suddenly felt. "You shouldn't say things like that," I whispered. "Why?" "Because they're true?" That night, I went to bed and lay awake while Ethan slept beside me, his back turned. I closed my eyes, and all I could think about was the way Jake looked at me, like I mattered. The next night it happened. I came down for water. Or at least, that's what I told myself. Jake was in the kitchen already, shirtless, the dim light of the fridge glowing against his chest. "You can't sleep either?" he asked. "No," I said, my voice quieter than I intended. He took a step toward me. Then another. "I should have moved," said something, ended it. But I didn't. He brushed a strand of hair from my cheek, fingers trailing along my jaw. "Rachel," he whispered, like my name was a confession. "I'm married," I breathed. "I know," he said. "But it doesn't feel like you are." And then he kissed me. It wasn't rushed or rough. It was soft, like he'd been waiting years to do it. My hands went to his chest instinctively, meaning to push him away. Instead, I pulled him closer. My entire body lit up, every nerve awake for the first time in so long. Upstairs, Ethan slept. I heard nothing but the blood in my ears and the sound of Jake's breath. When we finally broke apart, I couldn't speak. I turned and walked away, heart pounding so hard I thought I might collapse. The next day, neither of us mentioned it. Ethan was distracted as usual, lost in spreadsheets and project calls. Jake avoided my eyes, and I told myself it had just been a moment. A mistake. But the thing about forbidden fire is it doesn't die easily. Over the next few days, it happened again. Little touches. A hand on the small of my back. Whispers in the hallway. Stolen kisses behind closed doors. I wasn't proud of it. I wasn't even sure I liked myself anymore. But Jake made me feel alive. Desired. And after being invisible for so long, I didn't care about right or wrong, I just wanted to feel. It was never more than kisses. Caresses. Moments so filled with heat they left my knees weak. But I knew we were pushing the edge. One night, everything shattered. Ethan had left his phone downstairs. Jake and I were in the hallway, too close, too obvious. His hand was on my waist, my lips swollen from the kiss we had just shared. And then, a voice. "Rachel?" I froze. Ethan stood at the top of the stairs, phone in hand. His face was unreadable, but his eyes told the story. He'd seen everything. I took a shaky step forward. "Ethan, His voice was cold. "How long?" "It's not what it looks like," I said weakly. "Don't lie to me." Jake stepped back. "It's my fault." "No," I snapped. "Don't do that." Ethan came down the stairs, face pale. "So this is what our marriage became?" "You left me alone for years," I said, tears in my throat. "I was just someone who lived in your house. And so you found comfort in my best friend?" I couldn't answer. Ethan turned to Jake. "Get out." Jake nodded, silent. He left that night. No bags, no goodbyes. Just disappeared into the night. Ethan didn't speak to me for 2 days. When he finally did, it wasn't yelling or threats, it was worse. It was quiet. Broken. "Do you love him?" he asked. "I don't know," I whispered. He looked at me like he didn't recognize me anymore. And maybe he didn't. We decided to separate, temporarily. He needed space. I needed clarity. Jake reached out once, through a text, "I'm sorry. I never meant to destroy what you had." I never replied. Weeks passed. I started therapy. Ethan did too. We met once a week for coffee, just to talk. It was awkward at first, but slowly, the coldness began to thaw. We talked about everything, not just Jake, but the distance, the silence, the things we never said. I don't know what the future holds. We're not magically healed. But we're trying. Together. Sometimes, I still remember Jake's touch, the way he looked at me like I was worth it. But I also remember the look on Ethan's face that night. And it broke me more than Jake ever could. I let something happen because I was starved for affection, for warmth, for meaning. But I also learned that healing doesn't come from stolen moments. It comes from the hard, messy work of rebuilding trust, brick by brick. And that's what Ethan and I are trying to do.